Have you ever had a moment where you just knew something was going to happen, and then it did? Maybe you had a strange feeling about someone you just met, or you sensed someone close to you was upset before they even said a word. If you're an INFJ, this probably sounds familiar. People may joke and call you psychic, but the truth is, your mind works in ways most people don't understand. And while it's not about seeing the future with crystal balls, it is about picking up on things that others miss. Your brain notices patterns, feels energy shifts, and processes emotional signals faster than you can explain. This is what we're calling your psychic powers. Now let's be clear. INFJs aren't magic, but their intuition, empathy, and subconscious awareness can feel magical. It's what makes them such strong counselors, artists, writers, and visionaries. It's also what makes them sensitive, intense, and often misunderstood. In this video, we're going to break down 6 specific things that happen when you start using your INFJ powers at full strength. These are the moments where your inner world comes alive, where you start seeing things others don't, where people around you start wondering, how did you know that? Each of these experiences may seem subtle on the surface, but together, they show just how powerful your INFJ mind really is. So whether you've been called an old soul, a mind reader, or just plain weird, know this: there's a reason you feel different. And today, we're diving into it. Because once you learn how to trust and strengthen your gifts, you'll stop feeling confused and start feeling in control. Let's begin with the first phenomenon that shows just how psychic INFJs can really be. Phenomenon 1. Predicting outcomes with uncanny accuracy. One of the most common psychic experiences INFJs report is being able to predict how situations will play out before anything obvious happens. They don't need all the facts. They don't need a long explanation. Somehow, they just know. Let's say an INFJ meets someone new. Within minutes, they have a gut feeling about that person's personality. That person might seem friendly on the outside, but something about their energy feels off. Weeks later, the INFJ finds out that person was, in fact, lying, manipulating, or hiding something. The INFJ wasn't being paranoid, they were right. This happens because of how the INFJ brain works. INFJs rely heavily on something called introverted intuition, or NI. NI collects tiny signals, tone of voice, eye contact, timing, body language, and puts them together like a puzzle. It doesn't just see the now. It projects forward and says, this is where this is going. Often the INFJ can't explain how they know something. They just feel it with total certainty. It's not about logic. It's about pattern. And INFJs are masters at seeing emotional and behavioral patterns. This can be scary for some people around them. Imagine working with an INFJ who quietly says, I don't think this plan is going to work, even when everything looks fine on paper. Then a few weeks later, boom, it fails. People start saying, how did you know? The INFJ just shrugs. They can't always explain it. They just felt it coming. It's the same in relationships. INFJs often sense breakups, lies, or emotional distance long before anything is said out loud. They can tell when someone is holding back or when a friendship is slipping away. They don't need a long speech to figure it out. The energy has already shifted, and they feel it instantly. This predictive ability also helps INFJs avoid danger. If something doesn't feel right, a job offer, a trip, a new connection, they'll walk away, even if they don't have proof. Later, they'll often find out they dodged a major problem. But this power can also be a burden. Being right so often can feel isolating. People may think the INFJ is being negative, paranoid, or too sensitive. It's hard to convince others of something you can't explain. And sometimes INFJs doubt themselves too. But the truth is, this pattern of being right, over and over, is real. It's part of their natural gift. When INFJs trust their intuition, they make better choices, avoid toxic people, and stay aligned with their truth. So if you're an INFJ who's been told you're too intense or overthinking, you're probably not. You're just seeing the path before others do. And that's not weird, that's powerful. Phenomenon 2. Deep empathic connections. INFJs don't just understand people, they feel them. When you walk into a room, you're not just seeing faces. You're reading emotions, sensing moods, and often carrying feelings that don't even belong to you. This is one of the most intense psychic traits INFJs have. Deep emotional empathy. It's not about sympathy. It's not just being nice. It's something deeper. INFJs absorb emotional energy. You can walk past someone and instantly feel that something's wrong, even if they haven't said a word. And sometimes you feel the pain before they do. You might ask someone, "Are you okay?" And they'll say, "Yeah, I'm fine," even when they're clearly not. Later, that same person may open up to you about something heavy they've been carrying. You felt it the whole time. That's not luck. That's your intuitive empathy at work. This connection can feel magical to other people. INFJs often form quick, deep bonds. Strangers open up to them without knowing why. Friends say, "I've never told anyone this," but over and over again. It's because INFJs create a space that feels safe, calm, and real. People trust that energy. And because you can feel what others feel, you often know exactly what to say. The right words just come. You don't need a script. You just know what someone needs to hear. But this power has a dark side too. INFJs absorb pain. When someone else is anxious, angry, or grieving, it can sit in your own chest like it's your own emotion. And because you care so much, you try to fix it. But that can drain you fast, especially if the other person doesn't want to change. You also have to be careful who you connect with. Narcissists and emotional manipulators are drawn to INFJs because they know they'll get attention, empathy, and understanding. And the INFJ might sense something's wrong, but feel too responsible to walk away. This is where boundaries come in. Over time, INFJs learn that just because they can feel someone's pain doesn't mean they have to carry it. They learn to protect their energy, to care without absorbing, to support without breaking. That balance is what keeps your gift powerful and sustainable. Empathy is not weakness. For INFJs, it's one of the clearest signs of intuitive power. You feel things others miss. You understand pain before it's spoken. You heal people just by being real with them. And when used with care, that emotional insight changes lives, including your own. Phenomenon 3. Experiencing déjà vu and vivid dreams. INFJs often live with one foot in the real world and one foot in something deeper. Their inner world is rich, symbolic, and filled with strange moments that feel more spiritual than logical. One of those moments is déjà vu. If you're an INFJ, you've likely had that eerie sense that you've been somewhere before, even though you haven't. Maybe you enter a room and feel a chill, or you hear someone speak and think, "I've heard this exact moment before." That's déjà vu, and INFJs experience it more than most. Why? Because your brain is always making subconscious connections. It's pulling from dreams, past events, emotions, and patterns you've picked up without even realizing. So when a current moment feels like a past one, your mind lights up. You're not just imagining it. Your subconscious is recognizing something real. Another powerful psychic trait INFJs have is dreaming. Their dreams are often vivid, emotional, and filled with strange symbolism. While some people forget their dreams seconds after waking up, INFJs remember details. They remember colors, conversations, places, even entire dream plots. But INFJ dreams aren't just weird, they're messages. Dreams are often how the INFJ subconscious communicates. After a stressful day, the dream might not be about work, but it might show up as a storm, a lost road, or a locked door. The symbols speak directly to their emotions. Many INFJs also dream about things before they happen. Maybe not in perfect detail, but the feeling or theme of a dream ends up matching something that happens days or weeks later. That's their intuition working overnight. This dream life gives INFJs insight into things they can't explain. And when they listen to their dreams, when they write them down or think about what they mean, they often find answers to real-life problems. These experiences, déjà vu and dream messages, are part of the INFJ's psychic toolset. They remind them that life isn't just about logic. It's about connection, meaning, inner guidance. And INFJs are wired to tune into all of it, even when they sleep. Phenomenon 4. Reading between the lines. INFJs don't just listen to what people say. They listen to what people mean. They notice the pauses, the body language, the way someone's tone doesn't match their words. It's like they have emotional subtitles playing in their minds during every conversation. This is what makes INFJ so good at reading between the lines. Even if someone says, "I'm fine," the INFJ hears the tension behind it. They know when something's being hidden, even if everyone else misses it. This ability can feel psychic to others. People will ask, "How did you know I wasn't okay?" The answer, "You didn't guess. You sensed." You read their energy, their expression, and the meaning behind their words. And it told you the truth. It's not just about detecting sadness. INFJs also spot lies, manipulation, and mixed signals. If someone's pretending to be loyal but acting shady, the INFJ will feel that shift. They may not confront it right away, but they know. This inner radar makes INFJs great judges of character. They can tell who's genuine and who's performing. They don't always say it out loud, but they often make quiet decisions about who to trust and who to avoid based on what they pick up under the surface. But this gift also comes with challenges. It can be exhausting to constantly feel what's not being said. It can create mental overload in crowded or emotionally charged environments. And it can make it hard to trust people, because INFJs often see things others deny or ignore. Another challenge is that people don't always appreciate being read so deeply. Some feel exposed. Others deny what the INFJ sees, which can lead to tension. INFJs may be told they're imagining things or too sensitive, even when they're 100% right. Still, INFJs can't turn this off. It's how they're wired. And when they trust it, when they believe in what they sense, they stay safer, make better decisions, and help others see what's really going on. Reading between the lines isn't a trick. It's a form of clarity. And for INFJs, it's a powerful part of their inner compass. Phenomenon 5. Forming instantaneous judgments. INFJs often know who someone is within the first few minutes of meeting them, not based on looks or status, but on energy, on tone, on vibe. It's not judging in the shallow sense, it's intuitive assessment. This is what makes INFJs so accurate when it comes to first impressions. They don't need to wait weeks to know how they feel about someone. Their mind starts scanning from the moment they make contact. The INFJ may meet someone and instantly feel excited, curious, or calm. Or, on the flip side, they might feel tense, guarded, or drained. They might not know why yet, but they know something's off. And more often than not, they're right. These snap insights aren't based on facts. They're based on gut feeling and years of unconscious pattern recognition. INFJs have spent so much time studying people, feeling emotions, and observing behavior that their brains work like quiet supercomputers. They gather tiny cues and turn them into emotional certainty. This can feel weird at times. INFJs might doubt themselves or wonder if they're being unfair. They may give someone a chance, even after getting a bad first impression, just to be sure. But the gut instinct usually proves true. It's also helpful in high-stakes situations. An INFJ might walk into a job interview and instantly know whether the company culture is toxic, or meet a new friend's partner and sense there's something unhealthy in the relationship. These snap judgments help INFJs protect themselves and others. But there's a fine line between trusting your intuition and closing yourself off too soon. INFJs must learn to balance their gut feelings with real-world patience. Sometimes people grow on you. Sometimes your mood clouds your read. Self-awareness is key. Still, this gift saves INFJs a lot of time and heartache. It helps them spot red flags early. It helps them find kindred spirits faster. And it helps them move through the world with quiet confidence. When INFJs trust their first instincts, especially after years of practice, they realize they're not just guessing. They're picking up on something real, and that's what makes their judgments feel psychic. Phenomenon 6. Profound creative insights. INFJs are natural creators. They don't just think, they feel ideas. Their inspiration often comes out of nowhere, like a sudden vision or quiet whisper in their mind. One moment they're daydreaming, the next, they have an entire story, message, or design taking shape inside them. This is one of the clearest ways INFJs show their psychic side, through powerful creative insight. Whether it's writing, art, music, or a deep conversation, INFJs have a way of expressing things that feel bigger than themselves. They tap into emotions and truths that others have trouble putting into words. And people respond to that. They often say, "That's exactly how I feel, but I never knew how to say it until now." This happens because INFJs connect dots between emotion, experience, and imagination. Their subconscious is always working in the background, sorting ideas, storing symbols, and exploring connections. When the time is right, those ideas come together, and the result feels almost supernatural. Many INFJs say their best ideas come during quiet moments, while walking, showering, or lying in bed. It's like the insight visits them. They weren't planning it. They weren't trying. It just arrived. That's intuition meeting creativity. These insights often carry meaning. INFJs don't create for applause, they create to connect, to heal, to express truth. That's why their words and art often feel soulful. It comes from a place that logic can't reach. This doesn't mean all INFJs are professional artists. Creative insight can show up in everyday life too, solving problems in new ways, giving great advice, creating beauty out of pain. INFJs are always building something, even if no one sees it. But here's the magic. When they follow that insight, INFJs feel most alive. They feel connected to their true self. Their energy glows. Their mind flows. And that creative energy often pulls others in too. So if you're an INFJ with ideas you've been holding back, don't. Your insight isn't random. It's part of your power. And the more you trust it, the more you'll unlock the deepest parts of who you are. Your psychic powers aren't fantasy. They're real, grounded traits that make you a powerful force. You read people. You sense things. You grow, create, and guide from a deep place. So trust your gut, honor your dreams, protect your energy. Because once you own your intuition, everything changes.